Trump is angry with us. This type of thing can never happen anywhere. The federal government brought Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria for a case of terrorism.
How are U.S.-Nigeria relations right now?
So that happened back in October, and the initial reaction from the Nigerian government was pretty hostile. But over time, I think as there was more attention paid to it, it just became so undeniable. And the point of these designations is not just to say you're a bad country, we don't want to work with you. The point is to help the people who are being killed, to help the people who are being kidnapped, and to make sure that religious freedom is protected for everybody. And that's a real value. It's an American value. It's an international value, and it's a value for a lot of Nigerians. And so this has moved into a more cooperative stage. I think that's a very positive thing. There have been some recent recommendations given to the president from Congress, Congressman Riley Moore, Congressman Chris Smith, the House Foreign Affairs Committee, different committees. They've really put a lot of effort into this with great recommendations. I very rarely have seen such incredible effort from an administration as I've seen right now with Nigeria. And there has been good responses. I think from some portions of the Nigerian government, there have been some personnel changes and things. Interest in improving security, interest in helping the IDPs. Father Remy and you both mentioned the issue of Sharia criminal law, blasphemy laws, mob violence that can lead to the death penalty. There, it's a really terrible thing. There's a number of different issues, but those recommendations, if they're followed through, could in the next few years really make a huge difference. But they have to be followed through.
Have to be followed.
Nnamdi Kanu ought to sue the federal government, but as of today, Nnamdi Kanu is not suing anybody. Rather, the federal government is suing Nnamdi Kanu for what he did or what was alleged to have been done. The two of them are different. It is after this case has been adjudicated upon, then Nnamdi Kanu can now question why they had to kidnap him from Kenya.
Barrister, wouldn't that be like medicine after death?
No, it's not. But you can't mix up the two cases now. You are not challenging why you were brought from Kenya. You are not.
Barrister, he did challenge it. That was why the court said you don't have the jurisdiction to try him.
Listen,
he challenged it.
The first thing that the federal government did was to bring him for trial over what? Terrorism. That is the issue at stake now. Nnamdi Kanu can no longer come and say, because you brought me extraordinarily through extraordinary means, therefore you have.
On what ground? On what ground did the appeal court say that the High Court ab initio doesn't have local standard to try him? On what ground was that judgment given?
Look at it. The judges that carried that decision in the appeal court, where are they now? Do you know that?
No, Barrister. Forget where are they. On what ground did the appeal court give that judgment? Did the court grant Nnamdi a prayer that he didn't ask for?
No, Nnamdi Kanu was mixing it up initially. When they brought those charges, remember the charges that was quashed in the appeal court, 15 count charges, is those things that the DSS brought against him. And it was quashed. Even when they got to the Supreme Court now told Nnamdi Kanu, sue the federal government, enter a civil suit against the federal government for what they did to you. That was where they now brought up these charges against Nnamdi Kanu. So that is what we are talking about now. But so far, Nnamdi Kanu, I didn't hear where you
are. You have not answered my question.
I have answered you, but you don't understand.
I'm asking you, on what ground did the appeal court say that, look, the High Court, because this man was brought in illegally, you don't have the local standard to try him. And I'm asking you, did the appeal court grant a prayer that Nnamdi didn't seek? Or did he just walk into court and court said, look, High Court, you shouldn't have tried him because you brought him back illegally?
The charges at the appeal court, was it not quashed? It was quashed. It was quashed. Is that not true? All the charges against Nnamdi Kanu was quashed at the appeal court.
And yet the appeal court also said the High Court doesn't have right to try him.
At that point, they ought to have left him. But the federal government brought the charges again. When the matter went to appeal, remember, he ought to have been let off the hook. But the federal government, in their own wisdom, brought another charge on Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
And that is where we are now.
Okay, not on the previous charges.
I mean, can't you see it? It had been quashed already. The issue in Kenya court is, how did Nnamdi Kanu rendition from Kenya to Nigeria?
Right.
The Kenyan government is not charging Nnamdi Kanu for any offense. That was why he won there. Can't you see it? That was why the Kenyan court had to rule in favor of Nnamdi Kanu. The Kenyan government don't have any issue with Nnamdi Kanu. That's the difference. But here in Nigeria, the federal government is saying that Nnamdi Kanu committed a treasonable felony. And that is what is at stake now. So it is not left from Nnamdi Kanu or his legal team to say, look, when the case come up, why do you rendition is a different issue entirely. That is why he won in Kenya.
Let's wait and see how that actually.
Did you hear me? As long as the North still believe in Almajiri, it can never end. They know what they are doing. They cannot deceive us again. In the first place, who told you not to educate your people? Was it me? Nigeria had independence in 1960. All of us were here. You decided to choose whatever you want to choose. And now you want to blame us for your problem. Do you have the capacity to give your people free education like Awolowo? The Igbos never had any free education. So, why are you not telling us that if you let them uneducated? I don't get it. You don't feel that you have this entitlement mentality. Is it our fault that this is not happening in your area? You people should go home and think. Yes, you created this problem. Don't run away from it.
We have Ahmed Abubakar Gumi, an Islamic cleric, scholar, former military officer with the rank of captain in the Nigerian army. He is the current Mufti Mufassir at the Kaduna Central Mosque. Good to have you with us. Now let me start off with you. Now, this country of particular concern, President Trump, Sheikh Gumi, I beg your pardon. President Trump did say a few things, like, you know, if Nigeria doesn't address this issue, he's going to come in guns blazing and wipe out these jihadist terrorists, these jihadists that are killing Christians. Now, first, what is your immediate reaction to that? And do you think Christians are being killed, or is this a religious thing? Do you consider this, what's going on, genocidal?
Okay, it's a pleasure for me to have you on the show.
Number one, for me to have you on the show.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
The language of Trump is very contemptible and disrespecting.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, he called us a disgraced country. He also threatened Nigeria with a military action.
No, but the reason for the military action is because Nigerians, Christians, are being killed in their numbers. I don't know if you're familiar with the data between 20...
So it means he's only concerned with the Christian lives. The
Are you not concerned? Are you not concerned about the lives of Nigerians being killed?
He's only concerned with the Christian lives, and he's not concerned with the Muslim lives.
No,
the Muslims are losing every day to these terrorists.
If we X-ray the statement from President Trump, he said he didn't say he's going to come and kill Muslims. He said he will come and he would wipe out the Islamic jihadists.
No, you see,
Islam,
let's be pragmatic. Let's be pragmatic in what we do. He is specifically showing that he's a vanguard of Christianity and Christians here. That will automatically turn the Muslims against him, even though he's fighting the terrorists. And one thing also, the terrorists, because they have been attacking Muslims more. Now, if by any chance he kill anyone terrorist in the name of protecting Christians, they immediately turn their guns directly on the Christians. Let me tell you what's happening. Why they kill Muslims? Let me tell you why they kill Muslims. Let me tell you why they kill Muslims.
Go ahead, please.
You see, these terrorists, I think if you don't know their psychology and you understand them, then you mess up with them. They are killing Muslims in towns because they say they are revenging for what government or military is doing to them. Since they don't have access to the military, and the military is protecting these Muslims, so I will attack those we are protecting. This is the psychology. This is their mentality.
So is it okay? Is it okay that people are being killed? Is it okay?
Me and you cannot change it. So now, if Trump comes says we are going to fight terrorists because they are killing Nigerian lives, it will be a completely different issue. But we are specifying that he's coming to protect Christians. This is really very unfortunate, and it shows.
Sheikh, when you say that they are killing Muslims because of what the government is doing to them, what moral ground are they actually operating in Nigeria? Given the fact that we know that they are not even Nigerians. Sometimes we actually learn that they are foreigners terrorizing
whatever they are, you don't give them an opportunity to cause the havoc. Look like what's happening now in Mali. Look at what's happening in Niger and other places. These people are armed from some places we don't know. Even the former Chief of Defense Staff, he said for 15 years they are fighting Boko Haram, and sometimes they find foreign currencies, euros and dollars in their pockets. So somebody is behind trying to destabilize Nigeria. But what I'm telling you essentially is, for Trump to say he's coming to protect Christians, particularly when Muslims are even dying more. This is the offensive word, and this has called, and this we should show this man we are a nation, a sovereign nation, that he should not interfere in our own internal affairs. Yes. But if he's saying he's coming to assist Nigerians, which we have many ways you can assist Nigerians.
Just give me a minute, please. Let me put this out. Let me put this out there, and then we'll take your response, and also take responses from the studio, because we have other studio guests in here with us. Now, from what we understand, Nigerians are being killed in their numbers. A particular data has it that between October 2023 and September 2024, about 4,788, about that, were killed. And out of that number, 3,100 are Christians that have been killed. So does it matter what religion is being killed, or the fact that people are being killed, and Nigerians have also asked for support, foreign support? So if the United States will help Nigeria wipe out those that are killing Nigerians in their numbers, shouldn't Nigeria welcome such assistance? Why does it now seem, because you seem to be making it like, because they are coming to assist Christians who cried out, then it's now a war. It's not going to be between Christians and Muslims. Let me take you back to Uromi. What happened in Uromi, where a few individuals who were hunters, who were moving from one state to another, unfortunately, were mistaken to be terrorists, bandits, because they had a few weapons, and they were killed. We saw what happened. There was an outcry in the north. In fact, Governor Monday Okwebolo had to travel to Abuja, had to plead, and then promise to compensate the families of those who were killed. But Christians, Nigerians, have been killed in their numbers, displaced. And this amounts to genocide, really, where people are displaced and people are killed in their numbers, largely for their faith. So, are you not concerned that this might help solve the problem that Nigeria has been dealing with since 2009, the problem of Boko Haram? Shouldn't we be looking for a solution? And if there is one that can be arrived at without without Nigeria's sovereignty being affected, why haven't we gone for that solution, Sheikh?
Just be patient and understand. If it's China coming to say that, people will believe it, because China is not closing into our internal affairs. If it's Russians, people will believe them. But America are not to be liars. They said Saddam Hussein has new weapons of mass destruction, and there is none. And they have caused confusion in Iraq, in Libya, and everywhere. So when they said Muslims are killing, or there is massacre of Muslims and like Christians in Nigeria. From which side? They didn't specify whether it is the government or whether it is the Muslims that are doing it, or even if Christians are targeted. Whatever it is, if Americans can cure and eliminate the terrorists, I will welcome it myself. But I know they cannot.
Okay, when you say they cannot, when you say they cannot,
let me tell you. Okay. They have fought 20 years in Afghanistan. They could not finish them. Afghanistan is in Syria now. This same thing. And this terrorist you see, it's not easy to just come and drop bombs here and there and think you finish them. They have infiltrated the society, so it's going to cause more damage. More Muslims and more Christians will be killed if America would drop a bomb in Nigeria. I'm telling you this. You can take it for a record. So what we are trying to avoid, we are going to even compound it. Look, myself, I have been trying to see how we can pacify these people. I've been going to see how we can pacify these people and redirect them, because they are human beings. They listen and reason. But if you say you want to use force against force, then you will compound the problem and make the thing dirty. If Nigerian army, which has been very active in many hotspots, cannot deal with this issue for 18 years, for 15 years with Boko Haram, and now the bandits, and to me, the bandits are even more vicious because they are.
You said something about Nigerian army not being able to do something about it for some time now. You have been the person, or rather, news have actually carried it that you more like mediate or serve as an intermediary between them and the government, and that actually has sparked quite reaction among Nigerians. What can you tell us to be, some of the good points or flashpoints of your, interaction or discussion with them, especially when you had to get into the bush? Because the other time we're talking about giving them amnesty and all that.
Yes. You see, just to entice them to leave their weapons. You see, one thing good about it is, you see, you don't treat a disease without diagnosis. If a doctor can diagnose a disease, even if it's cancer, he will know how to manage it. So the good thing about it is, now before we are fighting a phantom, we don't know something is fighting us, coming to take us. We don't know that person. Now, by going to talk with them and sit down with them and to hear their grievances and understand their psychology, so we are able now to contain the problem. Now, Kaduna is relatively safe. I can say from you don't hear any more mass killings now in Kaduna, because we understand their psychology and the governor is cooperating. We are talking to them and they are keeping their weapons. They are not fighting. They're still on the weapons. They hold the weapons. But you see, this is a small, gradual process in which slowly we will civilize them. We will take away their weapons and let them into good citizens. So this is it. It has to be systemic. But for America to come and start bombing in northern Nigeria, I'm telling you, the question.
Let's bring this conversation to
people who have sympathy for the bandits.
Let's bring this conversation to the studio. Barrister Alex, I mean, you've been following this conversation, of course, what Sheikh have just said. From your perspective, first off, what's your general overview of this statement from the U.S. government? Plus, from all that has been said thus far, is it clear right now that Nigeria seems to be negotiating with these bandits and terrorists in clear view of what, of course, the opposition would want to put up?
Thank you, David. It is unfortunate that we are going through this route. Seriously. It's unfortunate that America is even pitying us. America is angry with what is going on here. For God's sake, how can a group of people call themselves bandits and they are holding Nigeria to ransom? Where is it done? Can such a thing happen in America? That is why this man, Trump, is angry with us. This type of thing can never happen anywhere. And look at how we are trying to pamper them. Look at Moses. On a more serious note, they said anybody who go to the bush and fetch anti-infested firewood is calling for this guy to come for a party in his house. If we have not allowed these people to come into Nigeria, will anybody be talking to us? Are we going to become a number in the CPC? But because we allowed this thing, and leaders from the beginning, they were tolerating these boys. Moses, on what ground would anybody, any leader in Nigeria, either from the north or south, go outside and bring terrorists into Nigeria.
Pastor, do you have faith in the approach being carried out so far to assuage their temper?
It's a lie. None.
You think it's not working?
Hold on. Somebody in this country once told us that there are good and bad bandits. I'll take my dictionary. I didn't see where they wrote these are good bandits and these are bad bandits. I don't know what that means. Somebody told us that they are their boss, that if anybody should attack them, they will not vote for that person. In this country, somebody told us that, yes, that if government does not answer to them, there will be no peace in Nigeria. Moses, these things are statement that was made for a man who claimed to be patriotic, a statesman. Is that how to solve a problem? You are pampering these boys. You are making them to become so bold. What audacity do they even have to attack anybody in Nigeria? For what? No, hold on. These other people, especially from the southeast, who have been fending for themselves, do they look for government subsidy? No, do they wait for government to pamper them? No, these other people that are fending for struggling to survive in Nigeria. Why must a group of people now tell us that we must answer them? They are this, psychological, this and this. These other Nigerians that are holding peaceful agitation, peaceful nature, peaceful what do you call businesses. Are they not Nigerians? Right. So if all of us become bandits, what will happen to us, Moses? Hold on. If all of us become bandits, will Nigeria exist? You can see how we clearly bring problem into ourselves and we are now blaming America. How can anybody be happy that...
Wouldn't America's involvement affect the sovereignty of Nigeria?
Sorry?
Wouldn't America's involvement affect the sovereignty of Nigeria? As long as
it involves terrorism. Terrorism in one state is terrorism all over the world. You remember at a point, America had to place a travel ban on some countries where terrorists are going this way. You remember? Yes. Good. That will tell you that...
So you are in support of America invading Nigeria. 100%. Guns are blazing.
I said 100%. Since the government has refused to listen and leaders are not even helping matters.
Wouldn't that affect the sovereignty of Nigeria? That's the question I'm asking.
Hold on. You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are not telling you what to do, Abi. You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are on the dining table with government, telling government what to do, and leaders are supporting it in Moses. That's really my annoyance. Why would anybody utter such words? These are things you should frown at. Who brought them into Nigeria? Was Nigeria like this in 1999? Moses, please be sincere to yourself. Who brought them into Nigeria? What are they doing here? Why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in the Republic of Benin? Please, why are they not in South Africa? You can see, we forgot the genesis of our problem and we are blaming America. Let them come. If that will solve the problem. Since you people don't know what to do, let them come and help us. Look at now, as I'm talking to you now, almost 20 villages have been taken over in Plateau and Benue. Moses, who are those to occupy those villages? Are they Christians? The real indigenous of those states are now in IDP camp, and they are the farmers in Nigeria. Can you beat that? And yet, everybody is not talking.
So do you think if America gets involved and then come to, in quote now, save Christians in Nigeria, do you think it will lead to an unrest between Christian and Muslim, like the Sheikh has said? It might let Muslims turn against Christians in Nigeria.
Look, we have tolerated enough. We have taken enough from these people. Leah Sharibu, as I talk to you now, a young girl is now in what? Captivity because of her religion. Moses, have you seen any Christian group that have kidnapped any Muslim girl because of her faith? Yet we kept quiet. Have you talked? Did you say anything? Somebody woke up one day, Sheikh Tanshi, and told her that Tinubu's wife should be killed because she's a Christian. That God told him to kill Tinubu's wife. I'm talking of provocative statements that can cause problems, yet we kept quiet. Moses, did we read that? Did you say anything? Is it not hard to show tolerance?
Okay.
So why can't our Muslim brothers do the same thing? Sorry. So that Nigeria will live in peace?
Before we come, sorry please, I want you to land on your thoughts.
Yeah, they do the same thing. And see whether this place whether America will even look at us, not to talk of placing it on CPC. That's what they're saying here. It is because of the actions and statements of leaders that have caused the problem. They should not deny it. Yet they still want to blame us for what they have caused. They still want to blame us to Moses. How do you take that? Is that not an insult? You are talking of America insulting, but you insulted us. When you told us that, or said we agree with the bandits, there will be no peace in Nigeria. Moses, can you beat that? And it's because of this statement, that's why Saudi Arabia could not tolerate you. They declared you persona non grata. Saudi Arabia, the seat of Islamic Caliphate. They could not tolerate you. But here, you tell us all manner of things, you do all manner of things, and you get away with it.
All right, before we take contributions from Barrister Adam Zata, let me go back to Sheikh Gumi. Sheikh Gumi, are there... Okay, I understand that he has left the conversation. Well, let's come to you now.
All right, for me, I think
yes.
Nobody celebrates failure except Nigerians. And that's why you see people ignoring and romancing with the government. The government is behind what you are saying today. And I welcome what is coming from the United States of America. I agree with Donald Trump. When you have failed to put your house in order, you give room for outsiders to come.
You agree with Donald Trump?
Yes, I agree with
guns
him. Partially,
like
5/10. I don't support military invasion.
So why do you have that
because I know this country is a very peculiar country. If you invade this country with force, you see that religion is going to set in, tribalism is going to set in. A lot of people are hibernating.
The question I'm asking is, why should that be a problem? Why should there be some religious uprising? Because what America is saying is that they will attack the Islamic terrorists. Do you think they don't have the means to identify who is a terrorist and who is just a Muslim? You think they don't have the means? Why should Nigerians be concerned that if terrorists that are causing insecurity in Nigeria are attacked, it will cause bigger problem, religious crisis in Nigeria? Why are we that concerned?
Let me give you a very peculiar situation.
Okay.
Don't we have Christians in the western parts of the country? Do we experience that? No. That's the more reason they need to be diplomatic. By that statement, we are coming to attack terrorists in Nigeria. It's a different ballgame when you mention we are coming to attack the Muslim terrorists.
Islamic jihadists.
Jihadists. It's a very specific statement.
Do we have other terrorist groups in Nigeria?
Saying, considering the antecedents of how Americans have gone to other parts of the world, and they have failed. They have gone to Afghanistan, they have failed. They're left with heavy problem in that other part of
that was
the
an ideological problem.
And then, whether we like it or not, they went there, they failed. They went to Afghanistan, they failed. They went to Libya, they failed. We look at all these antecedents, and then considering the fact that this country is just a growing country, it's a developing country. I agree with the provisions of the Constitution, particularly Section 10 of the Constitution, that states that no state shall adopt state religion. But you see that some parts of about 10 states in the north, they have not even for a long time ago, for more than 20 years now, is now the part and parcel of their system. And then you see that the government will continue to pamper these people. They are ignoring and romancing with them on a daily basis. It's wrong. And I also agree with President Donald Trump to an extent. I love what is happening because it's putting more pressure on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because if you look at the build-up towards the election that ushered in the late President Muhammadu Buhari and others, you see series of statements from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There's a lot of pressure on the then President Jonathan. Heaven will fall. Jonathan is running the kindergarten, this government, this and that. The same person is in power now.
Interesting you mentioned this. In 2014, some governors went to the United States of America to complain about genocidal, well, that wasn't the word used then, but complain about Christians being killed in Nigeria in their numbers in 2014. Why didn't we see that as a problem? Why is it a problem now that Christians are crying out that they are being killed in Nigeria? It wasn't a problem in 2014, just before elections. The figures at that time are even higher than what we've experienced in the first half of this year. Why was it
It's
problem?
the same people. They are using it for political reasons. Is it not the same Bola Ahmed that led the team then? He led the team. He used the social media forum for their selfish interests. And that is the government that demolished Jonathan administration and then usher in the then president.
The government has any desire to end what is going on now?
The government have failed. If you ask me to rate this government, I will rate them 0/10 in all aspects. Is it a government that is bent on inflicting hardship on Nigerians? Is that a government? Is it a government that failed to protect people in line with the provisions of the Constitution? Is that what you call a government? That is total failure. And then I'm saying that the president should resign forthwith. Because if you cannot protect properties and life, what are you there for? Because there must be life first before you can even say you want to govern people. So the government have failed woefully. I'm in support of what is happening. I love the pressure from the United States of America.
All right.
To an extent.
All right, to an extent. Barrister, let's have your, concluding thoughts on this one.
My concluding thought is that, look, this religious sentiment should stop. Our Muslim brothers should tolerate us and let them meet us halfway. Moses, we have tried. We have tried as a religious group. We have tried. All the things they have done to us in this country, we have never retaliated. Is that not how to show goodwill? Is that not to show tolerance? Why is it that every time all the problem will be coming from, and not only that, I'm not even seeing it as a problem. Rather, they will blame me and you over here for the problem they created. I mean, these are the issues here. If they should do that, even Trump will not look at us. All this noise about CPC will not come up. Let them try to tolerate the Christians for God's sake. That's what I'm saying. They should tolerate the Christians because we have tried. No other religious group can tolerate what we are going through here. And it's because of this intolerance that is causing problems. Then they will continue to do what they are doing. You have never seen it as a problem. These people that are occupying Benue and Plateau villages, where are they from? What religion do they profess? All the people that are marauding all over the north in the name of Iswa, Boko Haram, Bandit, or whatever, are they Christians? Moses, are they Christians? So, who is behind all these things? Can't we tell the northern leader to come together? Take yourself inside the room and talk to yourself. These are your children. Even somebody told you that they are their boys. So when you have done all that, why are you coming and not to blame us?
All right, then, Barrister, let's take this conversation to Sheikh Gumi, who we understand has joined us again on the conversation. Sheikh, once again, I want to say thank you for being a part of this conversation. You did mention earlier that the Nigerian army at the moment are doing well enough to manage the insecurity within the space. And of course, you mentioned Kaduna State that has been relatively peaceful from your perspective as well. But the question about Donald Trump's statements, particularly in helping Nigeria go off insecurity when it comes to these jihadist groups, is one that you have frowned at. And you made mention that the presidency should reject that statement. In fact, you also did say that the consulate in Nigeria should be called to order. From your perspective, as it stands, do you think the sovereignty of Nigeria has not been trampled upon with the level of insecurity that has bedeviled us and the fact that the government has consistently have conversation with terrorists, which again is against the constitution of Nigeria as a nation?
Okay, I actually don't understand particularly what you want me to comment on now. But you see, you are dealing with this Western colonist, imperialist, supremacist mind. They know how to divide brothers and make them fight. I don't think their interference in Nigerian internal affairs should be rejected by all meaningful nationalist, patriotic Nigerian. Yes, we have problem. And yes, in fact, even to accuse the government, of being complicit in this, it's even obnoxious. I don't know how somebody in that position should ever even suggest that Nigerian government is complicit or that Nigerian government is not doing anything to curb them. In fact, what Nigerian government did was it was able to contain. We are able to contain these terrorists more than Mali is doing. You know, Mali, with all their dedication and patriotism, I think now they are just some few kilometers from the capital. What I think we should do, we should unite as Nigerians. These people, they don't have religion. They are just, I don't know. Are they? It's an evil that God has sent it not only to everybody, to the Muslim,
Not
Christians.
say they don't have religion, and also align with what we got information.
Yes,
We got
let me tell you.
from the NSA,
You see, you don't know.
who say that
Okay,
they are
let me tell you.
foreigners.
Let me tell you one thing. You see, I don't think any of you is versed in Islamic studies. You know, prophecies. We have a prophecy in the books of the Hadith. Is there written? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, said, "In the end of times, there will be youthful children coming out in the name of Islam, killing people." This is exactly mentioned in the hadith. So it's an evil to us, camouflaging as Muslims. And let me tell you one thing, even that, like Trump and his white supremacists are having problem in America. It's not all Americans are accepting what they are doing.
Exactly.
Sorry, Sheikh.
They are, wait. In every religion, you have this extremist. Trump is just as an example of this terrorist. Look at Netanyahu, the Jewish. Many Jews are against what he's doing, the genocide in Gaza. So even we Muslims, who you have such extremists.
No,
in fact,
now that we've also established all this, Sheikh, we have established this, you know, at this point in time, Sheikh, we've established that this is more like a perilous time that we are having, especially in Nigeria to start with. We've been told that these people are not Nigerians. And not just that, too, we were also told by the NSA that they're foreigners. As a matter of fact, the junta leader also told Nigerians that, yes, they were able to sack them, especially from Burkina Faso and also from Niger. They were sacked. If, for example, Haftar Jabelo, who is a Nigerian, and he is in Nigeria now, spreading his tentacles, trying to kill people at this point. Now, isn't it a good thing that at this point, we're getting people that will help us to squash them and get Nigeria back to what Nigeria should be, especially restoring our peace and our movement?
Let me tell you, madam. You see, Trump is an extremist, just like this extremist you are fighting. In fact, they could even be behind them just because they want our resources. In fact, so many experts, intelligence said the West is behind Al-Qaeda, the West is behind ISIS, the West is behind all this, so that, you know, they give you a problem and suggest a solution. Then they are building the biggest consulate in Nigeria. Why? In Lagos. Because they want to come and establish the authority and power here. So you people should not allow them to use the name of Christianity. There are no any Christians. This man groping women and doing all those kind of things. This is convicted felony. You are thinking is coming to protect. Christianity is a reverend religion. In Islam, let me tell you, read the Quran. The Quran is there. وَجَعَلْنَا فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُ رَحْمَةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah has told us in the Quran, the followers of Jesus, Allah has put compassion and mercy in their hearts. They are very loving people. This is Christianity, not this kind of nonsense cowboy accusing people, threatening all the world and one thing is an antichrist, you know, because in the name of Christ, and he's saying he's a peaceful man and he's a warmonger, you know, trying to cause problem all over. So I want Nigerian Christians to know they have no better friends than these Muslims we are neighbors with. You know, we can live together in peace. You know. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Hello? Somebody rang. Ojuku wanted to use it, you know, before, saying that Muslims are killing Christians before. Unfortunately for him, General Gawan was a Christian and his deputy was a Christian. We didn't mind, you know. Once there is peace and stability, I'm telling you, Nigerians, Muslims, they are one of the most...
I asked the question earlier, but I think the network took you off, and it's a good thing that you're back. So let me ask you the same question I asked in the studio. In 2014, some governors in Nigeria, about 9 or 10 of them, went to the United States to complain about insecurity, about Christians in particular being killed the number at which Christians were being killed, and they, you know, they took that complaint to America to complain. At the time, you think that was, what do you make of that complaint? What is the difference between that happened in 2014 and Nigerians now, some from the Christian extraction saying, we are being killed in our numbers and we need help?
The difference is between the heavens and earth. Those ones went to America seeking for assistance and help, not for America to come and breach our sovereignty.
Christians have sought help. Some Nigerians that are being killed right now
let me tell you how Americans can help us. They can give us drones, surveillance drones. They can also give us fighting
which of course we have
before now.
12 Tucano jets. They've gotten weapons.
No, Tucano jets are useless. They just use Buhari. Sorry to say, it's already a deceased person. They use an idiot to collect money, about $500 million from Nigeria, without even going through the Senate.
But the other weapons that Nigeria. Okay, so what weapon do you think Nigeria should go for now? Because we've
usually, I think it's the drone technology. Drone technology for surveillance and for engagement would do very well for us. That Americans can do, and they can help us with it. The way they have been helping Israel to fight Gaza, they can do it, but they are not ready to do it. How can they tell me they want to come and start bombing Nigerians when they will be bombing innocent people and they will compound the problem? In fact, our problem is local, and we, the locals down, we know better how to deal with it than somebody outside coming to threaten. And more or less, you see, I'm not a really fan of government. Honestly, I've been critical of all government, but I think it's a slight on Tinubu's government. Honestly, I felt the man honestly we all need to gather around this man and help him to overcome this problem. Honestly speaking, because he's doing his best. Really.
Right. All right. Now, thank you so very much, Sheikh. I want to come back to the studio. Barrister, I've been seeing you saying several things on the ground, but let's have your opinion on these particular moves.
Look, I hate when people gaslight the whole Nigeria, not just one person, not just a group. I see this thing as gaslighting, because when Jonathan was in office, Jonathan had to bring General Ihejirika, who gave Boko Haram help. He was chasing them bumper to. In fact, it was Ihejirika that identified Sambisa Forest, where he chased them into. Moses, what happened? Northern leader started writing petition against Jonathan, sending letter to ICC, to America, to everybody, that Jonathan want to do genocide. He want to retaliate what they did to them during the war. Is that not what happened here in Nigeria? For a people who wanted this thing to end, wouldn't you have encouraged Jonathan in what he was doing? Please, somebody should answer me.
Yes, I will.
Good, I'm coming. Please, I'm coming.
I will answer you.
Yes, I'm coming. Now, Jonathan had to withdraw Ihejirika, and the thing now escalated under Buhari. Again, listen, if these people meant well, why are they spreading from the whole north now? They are coming to the south. Initially, they told us it was herdsmen. They were looking for grazing. Now, the whole thing has spread all over Nigeria. Is there any state in Nigeria today that is not expressing this thing? So what's the meaning? They want us to believe in what they are doing, Abi. They want us to believe in terrorism so that we cannot live. Is that what you are telling me? No, tell me. So pampering these people is a no-no for me.
Okay.
They shouldn't spread this in all over Nigeria.
Let's have your response.
I think there is a miscommunication between North and the South. There's a missing gap. Ihejirika, we are there, we are here. Ihejirika, in fact, I had a lady from Maiduguri saying, it's over the news, that would prefer Boko Haram to what the army was doing in Maiduguri. They were killing innocent people. It was very merciless, killing innocent people. That's why the northern states was all united that this man must go. Because you see, you need to follow these things systematically, slowly, gently, just like treating a brain cancer. If you go in there with roughness, you will kill the patient. But you have to be very delicate, trying to extract the cancer from the normal cells gently and remove them. This is how these people have infiltrated the society. You can't come, even the bombs that was in United Nations, the one in 1st October Eagle, the one in Kaduna, the one in Jaji, the one in Kano, they are all done by a clandestine security, not by Boko Haram. Boko Haram don't have capacity for that.
Do you want these individuals, these clandestine security, as you call them, would you like to see them annihilated? Would you like to see them wiped out? Would you like to see those that are displacing Nigerians, those that are causing?
Let me tell you, it's there in our hadith. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, if I am alive, I will annihilate them. This word you used, annihilate them, because they are the most evil people created by God.
So you would like to see them wiped out?
Yes, yes. So we want to see them wiped out, but we see not by killing innocent people.
Oh no. No,
not by killing
them.
But when you say innocent people, Sheikh, what exactly are you referring to? Are you referring to the people, the Islamic jihadis themselves, who again have been?
No, you see, they have. Look, let me tell you, this Boko Haram, usually they're Kanuri people. So if you go into Maiduguri, how can you differentiate between normal Kanuri and normal Boko Haram?
Now
and you start killing young. You start rounding up boys. You see, when this Giwa
are they Boko Haram? The ones in Kaduna, are they Boko Haram? They're not.
No,
we have different terrorist organization now moving around.
The
now you want break check. You say you want them to be annihilated. And in another break, you say you're not calling for them to receive amnesty. So how do we now,
I don't know how I can make you understand. You see, you just have faith in us. We want this problem to stop, but not the way you are thinking about it.
The Boko Haram the Chibok girls that were kidnapped up until today, we're yet to see most of them reunite with their parents. We also have the Davuchi girls and so many other persons. For example, I stay in the north. I love the north a lot. But at this point in time, so many things are happening.
Yes, you see, as you are grieved, we are grieved. It doesn't. In fact, we are even more concerned than you, because they are staining this beautiful religion of Islam. Really, you see. And I've told you, when you go back, all of you, check the book of Islam, or even just chat GPT and say, what did the Prophet say about the youth coming to kill people?
How much longer? Sheikh, how much longer should Nigerians wait to have a peaceful country, where you can travel without the fear of being kidnapped, you can sleep at night without the fear of being invaded and your house burns with children, women and children
what we realized is that a nation like Nigeria with 200 million people, if you leave about 50 million uneducated, marginalized, out of the system, and suddenly this modern education, availability of drugs, and gun runners, everywhere. They tend to form this kind of terrorist group. Wait, so Nigeria now,
because the Boko Haram that you have been speaking for is a group against Western education.
So so if they want, let's just wait. There is difference between Western education and modern education. Chinese are producing cars without speaking English. Russians are producing aeroplanes without speaking English. So if they say they don't want English,
your problem means English. I think your problem is America's involvement.
This is how you solve the problem. Since you said you don't want, then you ask them, which language do you want? Do you want Arabic? Do you want, because there's medicine in Arabic, there's engineering in Arabic. So you follow these people and pacify them, educate them, then civilize them.
Okay. No, Barrister, before we land, or you should land it on his thoughts, but I want to come to you, Barrister. Thank you so very much.
So don't estimate the value of education.
Okay, now let me come to you, Barrister. Sheikh here did say that we should give it some time. The same time we gave to Boko Haram, translated to Lakurawa and the likes. How much time do Nigerians need to give for insecurity to be curbed totally, because this is bedeviling us to the point of zero again?
As long as this thing has become a weapon in the north, it will not end. Did you hear me? As long as the north still believe in Almajiri, it can never end. They know what they are doing. They cannot deceive us again. In the first place, who told you not to educate your people? Was it me? Nigeria had independence in 1960. All of us were here. You decided to choose whatever you want to choose. And now you want to blame us for your problem. Do you not have the capacity to give your people free education like Awolowo? The Igbos never had any free education. So, why are you not telling us that if you left them uneducated? I don't get it. You don't feel that you have this entitlement mentality. Is it our fault that this is not happening in your area? You people should go home and think. Yes, you created this problem. Don't run away from it. Why are they spreading all over Nigeria? Why are they spreading all over Nigeria? Why are they spreading?
Okay, let me ask you. Do you think there are no kidnappers and criminals in the southeast or the southwest?
Sir, listen. If what is going on in the southeast is the same thing that's going on in the north, in fact, it's like there will be peace in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much.
There will be peace in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
But on your comment on education, I tend to agree with you that our leaders really has failed the nation because they have not concentrated on education. Everybody is after himself. I agree with you that one. I confess. I confess. But you see, what I will not agree with you is criminality is everywhere. Everywhere. In fact, we never heard of kidnapping and armed robbery. It came to us in the north from the south. It was creeping slowly, and it corrupted our people, and they're doing it now. So let us adjust.
The number of terrorists in the north today, if we should have them in the south, there will be no Nigeria. Is it true of us? We are trying here. We are trying here. We are trying.
But do you know what? It's because the population of those underprivileged in the north is in millions.
Most of them are not Nigerians. You brought them here. The people that are
no,
they are not.
That narrative. Look, nobody can tell you like me. Because I have had one-on-one chat with them. You know, they are pure Nigerians. I wouldn't rule out elements of non-Nigerians among them, but they are Nigerian herdsmen. And one thing I want to make you understand is that, you see, the North, with this large population of really uneducated people, really is becoming a national. Governor Soludo of Anambra State, when he was the central bank governor, he came to Arewa House in Kaduna, and he said the poverty in the north, he fears that is going to constitute a security threat for the whole nation. He said this many years before even this started. So you see, we have to improve the economic situation and education and everything. Then this is the way to go about it. But if you see you want to do it violently, you want somebody to come and massacre people, that will not work. That will not work.
Let's anchor the conversation here. Thank you very much, Sheikh Gumi, for your presence.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's pray too. We pray that God bring mercy to this nation and bring unity between Muslims and Christians. I think Muslim and Christians should stay in peace in this country.
We pray that Muslim leaders should change their mind.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please pray for Muslim leaders to change too.
We have been praying, but people don't want to agree with
our leadership. I know.
We are praying.
I agree with you.